Do you want to be able to do combos like this? Ooh, around. Here we go. So I'm gonna go through the basic steps of how to do super intense, crazy combos that will land you scores like this: 1,100,000. All right, let's get to it. With these kind of scores, you should be able to dominate your friends and decimate the competition. Okay, we're at the school and we're gonna get going, and we're gonna talk about the basics, the fundamentals of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So, the first thing is, I highly recommend you abandon the joystick altogether. Only use the D-pad. This is gonna give you precision on both what tricks you use and the direction that you're going, way more than the joystick will. So now let's go over what the buttons do. So if you press down on your D-pad, you're going to slow down. If you press forward, I don't think it actually increases your speed. It does not. And then left and right, and the D-pad goes left and right. The bottom, you have 4 buttons on the right, and depending on what console you're using, they'll have different names. So on the Switch, the bottom is B, but on the Xbox, it's something else, and then on the PlayStation, it's X. So I might just indicate the bottom as like X or Ollie, or the bottom button, I guess, and that is actually how you go faster. So I recommend always holding X as kind of the default state, and that's going to give you a little bit of a boost in speed. When you let go of X, you jump, or Ollie. If you're in switch mode, you can see in the upper right, you can see your foot placement. Your feet are on the top there. You can do a nollie. And then if you're in switch, you can see the foot placement is in kind of red. In some of the previous games, you got an additional points for doing a switch ollie, but I guess not in this version. So, definitely good to know that the bottom button does the jump. Before we go to the other buttons, I want to show some really important things on how to do more jumps. So if you press up on the D-pad once before doing the jump, you'll do a no comply. It is a bit higher than a regular ollie, and you get 100 points. So if you're looking for a really good combo later on, highly recommend starting any combo with a no comply. If you are really looking to be that master pro, if you press up 2 times, you'll do a boneless. And you can feel the difference there. No comply, boneless. And even going off a ramp, a boneless, going right off the ramp, is going to give you even more height than just a regular ollie. And if you're going for that, 720 kind of thing, then having that no comply or boneless right at the end is going to make that 720 rotation much, much easier. So start every trick off if you need it, or if you need to get to a hard place to get to. Try and do that double up boneless. Before we go to the other buttons, I want to talk about the wall rides. If you press the top button as you're going to a wall at an angle, you'll do a wall ride. If you then press the bottom button again, you'll go from a wall ride to a wally, and that'll get you even higher. So a lot of the maps require you to be able to get up into really high places for like special achievements or different obstacles. It's really good to combine the boneless with the wally, and then with the wall ride in between. This will get you to really high places that otherwise are inaccessible. And you can see I'm just like 30 feet up in the air just by boneless, wall ride, and then wally. So to do that, I'm doing double up, bottom button release, because I always have the X pressed down, press the triangle, and then as you're wall riding, coming back down and pressing the bottom button, just like that. It's a really high way to get some altitude. Okay, so let's talk about the other buttons. So we have left, and we have right, and we have top button. I kind of think of the left button on Switch, it's Y. On Xbox, it is square. The left button is flip trick. So you can't press it. I mean, you can press it, but it's not going to do anything unless you're in the air. So I always have X pressed down. If you let go of X and then you press square, nothing happens. That's because you need to give a direction at the same time, like up on the D-pad or left on the D-pad or right on the D-pad at the same time. So let go, and then I'm going to press left and square in the air. That's a kickflip. And then if I do right and square in the air, then that's a heel flip. So always in the air. And if you do not complete your flip trick in time, you do a crash. So if I just continue to do heel flips, then I'm going to crash and bail. So one thing you can do to make sure you get those tricks done is the more height, you know, the better, the more flip tricks you can do. So here I did a double heel flip with a boneless. Here's another double heel flip. I don't know, I think if we go off a ramp, we probably should be able to get a triple heel flip. There's a triple heel flip. Okay, cool. So you can combine, and while you're holding right, you can actually press the flip trick button multiple times, and you'll just continue to do heel flips. So that's where I'm doing a double heel flip right there. And so there are 4 directions. There's down, which is different by character. You can also customize these tricks in your custom skater utility. There's up, impossible, and same thing with these. You can do like a 360 shove it, and you can do double and triple impossibles. That's just 2 flip trick buttons and then holding the up or holding the down. You know, double kick flip, double heel flip. You can do triple as well. Those aren't worth a lot of points, so I don't recommend using those as like foundations for your combos. But what takes longer to accomplish but is worth more points is diagonal directions. So instead of doing left or right, up or down, you can do diagonal, lower right. That's a variable heel flip. That's worth 360, whereas a regular heel flip is 120. There you go. So the other side, variable kick flip, hard flip, that's up to the right. No inward heel flip, that's up into the... Oh, that was up to the right. The other one was up to the left. So for those higher tricks and combos, definitely recommend doing that diagonal flip tricks. They're going to give you a lot more points. Some other things that we want to talk about are gaps. So anywhere, we're kind of going all over the place, but we're going to cover it all. Sometimes the gaps are more obvious. So like these 2 kickers here, if you leave one and then land on the other one, you're going to get that blue plus like a camera sound effect. This one's only worth 120, but the real potential here is when you are combining it with other things, because you're going to have, so regular kick heel flip is 120, but when you combine it with the gap, you get 480. That's because it's the points of the gap, which is 120, plus the 120, that's 240, but because it's there are 2 tricks in there, it actually times it by 2. So for every combo that you do, you get another multiplier, and that's like another trick is part of your combo. So if you do 3 tricks, like an impossible plus a manual, you can see I get a multiplier of times 3 because there are 3 components to this combo. So there, I almost got 3,000 points, and that's where the real power comes in, which we'll go into later on. Okay. Let's go over some of the more basic functions before we go too far. So we have ollie, we have flip trick, and now let's talk about grab tricks. So that's the right button. On the Switch, it is A. In the PlayStation, it is circle. And same thing, the grab tricks usually work the best going off of a ramp. So I'm going to show those now. Hold the grab button and then apply, or hold a direction and then hold the grab button for as long as you want the grab trick to last. So if you hold it too long, you will crash. So you want to make sure to let go of that grab button before you land. So here we'll demonstrate the directionals. Down for this character is tail grab. Up is nose grab. Right is indie. Melon is, I think that was left. So those are an initial points of, that one's 360 to start with, plus the additional, hang time kind of things. That one's 300 with an additional hang time. Diagonals are worth more, but they're sometimes a little bit more unique in how to land. They're a little bit tougher to land, but I definitely recommend, again, practicing those diagonal directions because they're worth so much more. And so here's Airwalk. That was a pretty cool one. The Madonna is a tricky one because when you do Madonna, he puts the board perpendicular to where he's going to land. And so you want to watch for the Madonna to land. With any flip tricks or grab tricks or any sort of ollie, if you have momentum going forward, enough momentum, and you land sideways, so like here, sideways, you're going to crash. So that's why you need to know where kind of the shape of where the board is during these tricks, and the diagonals usually have some weird thing you have to watch for. It's a little bit harder to know, but if you practice the grab tricks, the diagonals are well worth the effort to learn where they land. So the Madonna is just worth so much. And what's this one? The Japan. So the Japan's a little bit trickier too. It's not perfectly aligned with where the board is, but still a cool trick. Okay, so with flip or grab tricks, it's really good whenever you can to incorporate spinning. So here a 180 is worth, wow, is that really worth? Oh, that was a nollie, not an ollie. Okay, so they did give you some points with it. Okay, so just not a regular nollie, I guess, isn't worth anything. But to do a 180, in the air, you spin halfway. If you do a 360, then it's worth 200 points. Not a ton by themselves, but what's great about these is you can get them for basically free when you combine them with any other trick. So a kickflip or heel flip is, 100, but you combine it with a 360, hey, now you're at 200, and it's a ×2 multiplier, I believe. And so you combine a heel flip with a 360, now we're up at 800 just for a heel flip. So kick flip, 800. If you do a double heel flip here, you're already at 2,400. So it's really nice to be able to always try to combine, your tricks with spinning. So a lot to take in here, but let's do some spinning grab tricks. So here is a 720, almost 5,000 points. That's pretty good. Oh, I did a combo there. Let me do just regular grab tricks. Oh, it's just so ingrained into me. Okay, we'll get there soon. So here is a 720 melon. I mean, I'm getting almost 5,000 just for that. Oh, there's 6,000. Oh, I did a no comply. There's 30,000 just for a Madonna. I mean, that's a great start. Look at that, 11,000. If I combine that with the boneless, which is what I think maybe happened. Yeah, you get that multiplier. Another reason to do the boneless going up. Okay, so let's talk about comboing flip tricks with grab tricks. And then we'll get to grinding, and then we'll call it good for right now. These are kind of the basics, so I don't want to go too far into specials or too far into other things. But if you're kind of picking up on a theme, hopefully, that you want to do combos. So whether it's adding a gap to your single trick or doing a boneless, into the combo, you can see that boneless was worth 700. If you combine a flip trick with a grab trick, and this is probably the easiest combo I most commonly do, every time you do go off a ramp, my recommendation is to do a grab trick right after you do a flip trick. So do a flip trick and then a grab trick. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's go over to the pool and we'll kind of go back and forth here. So it should just practice it over and over again. You want to do a flip trick. So here I'll do a left combo. So left is kick flip. And then right after that, I'm going to do a grab trick. Okay, so I'm going to hold left melon right there. So this is a great first combo. you're combining the flip trick, which is left, with the right button to do a grab trick. And that's going to give you a great multiplier. Okay, so where this is really going to get crazy is we're going to add the spinning. Okay, so let's add the spinning. So here we go. Now we got 8,000 just for that. Let's do it again. And then this is just the regular direction. If we do a diagonal combo, this is even more. So let's do a diagonal direction. There we go. 11,000 just for one simple combo. So if you want to take, this is like 101 combo here. But if you want to take it up just another notch, these are the kind of the other diagonal directions, then I would recommend doing that boneless right before. And this is just kind of level 101 here for those really nice trick attack combos you're looking to, or maybe, you know, first one. I think you can beat the game with kind of just knowing this and maybe some grinds too. Okay, so let's do these, but instead, let's add a boneless before. Okay, so I didn't do the flip trick there. There we go. Did I do? Oh, no comply. All right, there we go. Boneless. There we go. I got that. What was that? 14,000? That's pretty good. 19,000. 19,000. I mean, 26,000 for the Madonna one. That's absolutely the way to start off your comboing. Okay, let's get out of the pool. I'm getting a little dizzy. But that is kind of the 101s of the flip tricks and the grab tricks, and how to combine them really well. Okay. Wow. If you're still here, thank you. We're going to go into grinding a little bit, and we'll do it here right on this rail. So to grind, you have to be on a grindable line. So you don't always have to start off in the air. You just have to press the top button. So on the Switch, it's X, but PlayStation, it's triangle. And don't know what it is on Xbox. I haven't played the Xbox controller a lot. But if the line is in the way of where you're going and you're pressing the top button, like here, then you'll automatically go into a grind. And then a balance meter will go up there, and then you can use your D-pad to kind of correct the balance as it is going left or right. So press in the opposite direction. You want to keep that blue triangle right in the middle. So right now I'm doing a 50-50. You can see that the points go up, but not too bad. They go up pretty good. But 50-50 is the least amount of points you can get for a grind. And then to get out of a grind, you can either fall like that, or if you're in a pool, so here, let's go back to the 50-50. If you're in a pool and you actually lose the balance on the side of the pool, you'll automatically just go into the pool and you'll finish the trick. So if you're at the end of a combo and you're really concerned about like, oh, I'm too far, just bail all the way to the left, or, you know, to the pool side, and then you'll just finish the trick, which is really nice. But the most common way to finish is just to press X and jump out of the grind, back onto the surface, and land. So you can do some pretty great combos with just combining grinds. I'm just going to combine some 50-50s here. And you can see every time I do a new trick, it's giving me a multiplier. So there's about 3,000 times 4. And I'm just trying to not crash. But what was that? 5 times 4,000? That's pretty good. 21,000. So that's a great, easy way to get some points. If we combine, well, let's not do the flip trick combining yet. Let's do the directional grinding. So if you hold a direction while you go into a grind, like down, here we get a BS 5-0. Sorry if I mispronounced any of these tricks. I think that's a 5-0. And then if we do up, that's a nose grind. Left, lip side, board slide, and then just like the other tricks, the diagonals are worth so much more. So we'll do some diagonals here. There's a Monty grind. Oh, that's a lip trick. Feeble, I think. Crooked. Let's see, what else we have? Overcrook. And then grinding has some unique ones as well, where if you press down more than once, you'll actually get a, I think it's called a blunt slide. So I'm doing a double down and then grind. Oh, wait. Well, now I'm, there we go. There it is. So if you press down twice before triangle, you get that blunt slide. It takes some practice. It's hard for me to do while I'm talking about it, but it's one of the most valuable grinds is the blunt slide. And then if you do the same thing with up, you'll get the, oh, hopefully I can do it. Come on. There we go. What is that? Nose blunt slide, I think. It's so hard to read it while I'm trying to balance. But that's worth quite a few. So, now that we have some basic grinds and some tricks around that, I want to talk about combining grinds with flip tricks. So between every grind, if you jump and then do another grind, that's great. It gives you that multiplier. If you do a flip trick between it, it's worth even more. So you do a grind, and then let's do like a pop shove it into another grind. So in the air, I pressed up and the left button, and just that little combo is devastating to the trick multiplier, because I'm getting like 2 or 3 multipliers every time I'm doing it. I'm doing it again and again and again. And even though these individual tricks aren't worth a lot by themselves, combined together, they make a lot of points. So you can do the same thing with more valuable grinding tricks. So I want to do 1 or 2 more tips and tricks, and then we'll call it good for this 101 video. But one thing which happens to me all the time is you fall down. Let me see if I can fall down. Okay, I'm going to hold a grab trick too long. If you go regularly and you don't press any buttons, the animation of falling down and getting back up takes, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. But if you kind of smash buttons, I usually smash X, tap X a lot, then you'll get back on your way a lot faster. So let's demonstrate that here. So I'm going to fall, and then I'm going to, if you just press X a lot, then you're back up and going a little bit faster, which is nice. Okay, before we go on, I want to talk about a few more things. So we have one thing we haven't talked about, and that is reverts and manuals. Manuals and reverts can be good by themselves, but they're really used for combo connections. So what they are is if you press your trigger button on either the left or the right, when you exit a ramp, you revert. And that's only worth 100 points, which is not a lot by itself. But if you combine it with other tricks, that's again where the multiplier is worth so much, because you combine it with other tricks. So if you're doing a cool flip with a grab trick, and then you revert, and then you manual, which we'll talk about manual in a second, into another flip trick in manual, then you can get this, you're starting to get these crazy combos here. But because you revert in manual, they're not worth nearly as much, or they're worth a lot, but your speed is reduced. So you can see that I'm getting pretty high, but if I revert in manual, not nearly as high on the second, and by the third time you have barely enough speed to get up onto the lip. So revert is a great way to connect combos out of a quarter pipe or some sort of ramp and not finish your trick and keep it going. Now let's talk about manuals. If you press up down or down up just on your D-pad, you'll start a manual. These are great ways to combine like grinding tricks together. And you also need to do it right after a revert if you're going to continue your combo after. So here I'm going to revert and then manual out of this. Let's do a kickflip or a heel flip first. So revert and then up down. That's going to give me a really nice combo that I can continue this trick. And now I have that ×3 multiplier. So if I press X, then I can jump. And if I don't press up down, then I'll land the combo. Another way to finish the manual is to finish the balancing on the way that, like, bring the wheels down. So if you're doing a nose manual, that's down. And then if you do a regular manual, that's up. And that way will actually not crash. It will just finish the trick for you, which is kind of nice. While you're manualing, if you press one of the 4 buttons 2 times, you'll change the type of manual. So that was up left. Now I'm doing a truck stand, and if I ever do double flip trick, each position of the manual has a different like cool flip. So this is kind of like the street game. This is upright. That's kind of fun. This is the flip trick of that. Right, left. And then left, right. And then I don't know if the bottom button has these. No, the bottom button doesn't. It's just different combinations. So that's up, up. That's cute. And then this is right, right. Ooh. And then this is left, left. Oh, left, left is the flip tricks. Never mind. But yeah, a lot of different combinations you can do, and these all rack up points. I don't think this is the absolute best way to get points, unless you're doing streak, like a very unique competition, but still fun. Okay, so all that combined, let's talk about specials. So specials, if you go into your skater profile, you can see your special tricks right here. I really like to map all my special tricks the same. The first one I do is up, down, and then the button. It's really easy to remember. It's also the most, it's the least difficult to put into your D-pad. Is just everything's up, down. And then if you, as you unlock more special slots, I like to do down, up, as well as like the secondary. Because each trick, whether it's a grind trick, flip trick, or grab trick, each trick, the more you use it, the less points it will be worth. So the first time you do it, it's worth 100. But if this was in a competition or in a trick attack, the next time it might only be worth 90 points. And then it might go down all the way to 25 points. So that's why it's really good to have multiple special tricks in your arsenal. So here I have up, down, and then if you apply that special button, so I have a special manual, so up, down, triangle, or up, down, up. Now I'm doing the rusty slide manual, worth a lot more points. But if it's a special version of a manual, I think both sides crash. Oh no, never mind. They don't. Some of them, maybe some of them do. Let's see. Let me see if I can do that special again. Does this one crash going forward? Yeah. And I think it crashes going back too. Which one was I doing? Was it? Okay. Oh, no, it does. It's still good. So going down is okay there. So I find that it's kind of like a guessing gamble to decide which one is going to crash. But let's go back to the flip trick. The special trick. Okay. Up, down, X. Or up, down, grind. Or up, down, grind. It takes a second to get. But let's see. There we go. So that's the big hitter. And you can see it's worth so much more than the regular grinds. It just racks up those points so fast. Combine that into a combo. So there's the down, up that I've mapped. The fandangle, which is always a fun one. Yeah. Just a short trick for 5,000 points. That's a good deal. And the specials always look so cool. Very eye-catching. So I also have up-down grab trick, which I've actually mapped a flip trick to. Well, I consider that more a flip trick, the variable McTwist, but it's kind of a combo, I guess. But that's a pretty cool one. So in the air, if you do up-down grab trick, you're going to do that special trick, which is pretty cool. And then I have up-down triangle, up-down top button for a manual, which I think you saw. Flip, grab. Those are my favorites, but if you ever want to change one of your flip tricks or grab trick specials, you just choose what you want here. Let's do... Let's do Ooh, quad heel flip. That sounds fun. Misty flip. Okay, let's do the Misty flip. So Misty flip worth 5,000 points. And then I like to do either down up or up down. That's the easiest to remember. You don't have to write them down. So let's do down up since I already have up down. So down up and then A. This is mapping it to my flip trick button. And then now we have special. That's pretty cool. So let me talk about special. To get special, if you crash, your special goes all the way down and it's black. As you do a trick, you might get a little bit of special. So I have about half special right now. It continuously goes down. But if you get enough special that it reaches the top of the bar, it activates your special potential. So if I tried to do a special grind right now, I cannot perform it until the special is like maxed out. So right there, you can see the special is now activated. It's like doing the heartbeat pulse and it's glowing a lot more. That means that now if I would desire and perform the trick combo, I can do the specials. So here, now I can do the specials. And every time you do even just a part of your combo, then the special will continue to go up. So I'm gaining points faster than the special bar can drain them away here. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, so now that we're at the school, let's go ahead and do one final combo trick to close out this 101. All right, so we did a variable mctwist into a manual with a revert combining them. And then we're grinding. We're doing some nice special tricks. I'm pretty happy about that 10 multiplier. We're not going to go like absolutely crazy with this one. But there we go. 500,000. I'm pretty happy with that. Definitely is a great way to end this 101 session. Hopefully you learned a few things. Let me know if I forgot anything super obvious. Tried to cover most of the 101 stuff in Tony Hawk. And next we're going to do a video about comboing and choosing your line and how to make the best of your points. Thank you. Have a great day.